They're there because they want to win.
And that's what people remember.
And it was just such a beautiful thing for the season.
If GW football had a program right now,
3 very strange words. Offensive lines.
Less hits, less earned runs, less runs.
Give me an NFL contract, and I'll play 2 extra.
we'll call it hazard.
If anyone can spark them, it might be their coach, Mike Singletary.
It's kind of a pillow fight.
It's not going to be the end of the league because all the players are dead.
The show is also unstoppable
go on.
because we've still got another segment left. You, unstoppable. You, stoppable today, which is, of course, the opposite of unstoppable.
Who's ready to play?
Good morning, good afternoon, good middle of the night. You're tuned into Channel 61. This is GWTV. I'm your host, Chris Geisler, here with Andrew Hanks and new challenger Alex Crook for another edition of Unstoppable here on GWTV. 5 segments of sports debate. We're going over all the latest hot topics here on GWTV. Stay tuned for the entire ride. First topic is the NFL. There's been a lot of good storylines, but we're going to focus today on the rookies, who so far this year is the NFL's Rookie of the Year. Andrew.
I definitely have to say Sam Bradford. You know, with the first overall pick, there's a lot of hype coming in, but as a rookie who has really been the most valuable player of their team, he is definitely up on the top of that tier. You see the Rams situation last year, being 3-3 this year, he's definitely been the impact player for them. 1,300 yards already. He's above league average for a quarterback. And when you look at the other guys, I don't really think that a player has been as valuable to their team in making such a turn and becoming the franchise player instantly. Also, when you take the field there. So that's what I have to say for Sam Bradford, definitely.
Is it Sam Bradford?
I don't think so. I think it's Javid Best. Now, Javid Best isn't putting up great numbers. To be fair, he's injured. But he is putting up a 3.2 yard average, which is, for the Lions, pretty good, especially given that their offensive line most of the time it's a sieve. It's really a sieve. But the big point where he is making an impact is on receiving. He's got a great quarterback in Matt Stafford. He's got 249 yards in attempts. However, his yards after the catch on average is 11 yards after the catch. If you think about that on an out route where Sam Bradford, a young quarterback, has to dump it off because he has, again, no offensive line to block for him, 11 yards after the catch is really helping the Lions out with those receivers, with that just a blatant terrible offensive line. And Javid Best is what's holding that offense up.
They haven't had a decent running back in Detroit since Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders quit early.
I was just saying, would you say that he's filling that role, or is he a different kind of back?
I think he's a different kind of back. Barry Sanders bounced around the field. Javid Best is one to hit the hole and hit it hard if he can. Obviously, a running back in open space is a running back in open space when it comes to receiving. But I think he's doing a great job. He's been injured. I can't wait to see him when he's at full strength and has a whole year to play. And it's going to be an amazing impact.
I guess my biggest concern with him is he gonna get better, or is he already peaked?
I mean, you can't peak 6 games into a year. Let's be honest. There's been rookies year
Running
in,
backs
year
have
out.
a short lifespan in the NFL right now.
It's
though.
not 6 games into the year, let's be honest.
He's already injured, though.
He is already injured. But, I mean, again, no offensive line. He's only taking 12 attempts a game. Their focus right now is on Matt Stafford, much in the way of the West Coast offense that's starting to become more popular in the league. The running back isn't going to be the feature who's taking 20, 30 attempts a game anymore.
I don't think you can just say no offensive line. I think the Rams probably have same offensive line as the Lions, and with really you see there's either bad offensive lines or elite offensive lines in the league, and with Sam Bradford leading this team as a franchise player, I like Javid Best. I watched a lot of games early on this season. And he looked good with this. He's a finesse back with this multi-purpose role where he's fast, where he can receive the ball, dump it out, have a screen, or find the hole up the middle. But he hasn't really had that impact. 3.2 yards a game isn't that great. If you're saying, they haven't had
yards per carry. Yards per game would be awful.
Yes, yards per game. Yards per carry isn't that great. You look at other people around the league. You want someone to come in, and with these teams change the program and become the franchise player. A team that's 1-4, he has not had the impact compared to Sam Bradford.
I mean, I think when you're looking at the Lions, you're looking at the fact that they're 1-4, but they're not really 1-4. They won the Bears game. They won two other games that happen to be given up on stupid mistakes. The Lions, as an offense, are beginning to produce.
They got a
They're in
blowout
very-
win, too.
They are a very, very young offense. Also, 3.2 yards a game when you're only getting 11 carries a game is a different story. When you only have 11 chances to make an impact behind a
I thought
not-so-great
he's
offensive
their
line.
franchise. Why are they giving him so few carries?
Because
He
he's
should
in a
be-
West Coast offense.
he
He is
should
getting
be-
the
he
ball.
should
The point
be-
is 11.2 yards after the catch because he is catching the ball. He's not running it. He's only running it 11 times. He's catching the ball 11.2 yards. He's got 285 yards in receiving.
So
That's
I like your statistics here, but the quarterback is still the most important position player on the field. Running backs, halfbacks, going out for the screen are great.
they're running an Eagle-style system there.
They're running
Screen
Eagle-style
heavy.
system.
The
with a
I guess
complete
the
turnaround.
important thing to look at here is the when they factor in the rookie, they're looking who made the biggest impact on their team. And I think at this point, it's hard to dispute that when the Lions acquired Matthew Stafford with the top pick in last year's draft, he had a massive impact on that team, and that reduces Javid Best's impact on this team. Sam Bradford is the future in St. Louis. Whether or not they could build anything around him is still yet to be seen. But I think that one has to go to Hanks to start it off with a 1-0 lead here on Unstoppable.
Fair enough.
Next topic, GW basketball. The season just about ready to get underway at the Smith Center. There's some exciting storylines to talk about. Who are we expecting to be the best player, the most important player on GW's team this year?
If I had to, obviously I'm here to tell you what I think, and that's Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor, when he is in the offense works. If you notice, when Brian Bynes comes in, the offense tends to sputter. He brings a solid scoring presence in the mid-range. He can hit that mid-range jumper. He also has that burst, that explosion. Granted, he's not, going to go to the NBA. He's not amazing, but he is the heart and soul of this team. Without Tony Taylor, the offense is feeble at best because all the focus goes on to Lasan Chroma and Joe Katuka, and those are the two scorers that are left.
Are you concerned that we could see him become a Travis King type player that started out as a leader and eventually just never improved and was surpassed by other competition in the conference?
I don't think that's the way it is. You look at his shots in the big games last year. He was always the guy handling the ball. Travis King, when he got the ball last year, I mean, to be fair, I'm probably a nice guy. Didn't do much. Tony Taylor would always take those little floaters. He'd find the open guy. He wants to run this team.
He was good in the clutch last year.
Actually, he was good in the clutch in certain areas of the St. Louis game where they came back. However, he did make a few very, very poor free throw attempts that almost made them lose to Townsend, Holy Cross, a bunch of different teams. I do agree. I like Tony Taylor as leading this team. He is the true point guard. Travis King was marred with injuries throughout his career. That hasn't happened to Tony Taylor, and hopefully, knock on wood, it won't happen. But with Tony Taylor, he really does lead this team. He's been their most valuable player the last few years, but for as important player this year right now, I have to say Joe Katuka. I'm going to throw that out there. Lasan Chroma will be the highest scoring player on the team. Tony Taylor will lead the team in assists with Hobbs' wheel offense. But the most impactful player they need to step up is Joe Katuka. They need that inside presence for their other players to get open.
It's not just they need it, though. Is he going to do it? Is he capable of doing it?
At the end of last year, where he went 5 straight games with double-doubles, you should see he had a career game against Charlotte, a huge game where they were on the bubble to go to the tournament. He put up 15 points, had a few blocks there, and they need to rely on him to continue to grow. That was one of the reasons they did become a 16-15 team, over 500 team last year, is because of his presence, and he's going to be the impact player. Tony Taylor is great, but he's already the impact player. He is there. We know what he's going to do. We need the other people to step up, and for this team to increase, we need Joseph Katuka to be that inside presence.
So you're saying Tony Taylor has already topped out?
Tony Taylor's already the MVP last year, and he's the leader of the team. Without him, you see they go a little downhill but they're filled with point guards, this team. But you need that other player to take the next step, and he's going to be the impact player on whether this season lives or dies.
Well, and Joseph Katuka also offers senior leadership, and I think that'll be an important thing. It's his season.
I mean,
Tony Taylor's been doing the JoJo, man.
Tony Taylor's been starting since his freshman year. I mean, if you're talking about leadership, you're talking about the point. The point in Carl Hobbs' offense is the important guy. In that offense, he's the man who finds the open man, if that makes any sense. Also, the question with Joe Katuka is, will he actually step up? You're talking about the end of last season. Great. At the end of last season, when they were desperate to become, a team that actually meant something in the
Well,
A10.
something clicked with him, and he did step up. The thing is, this is what they need to rely on this year. Tony Taylor will be there. He will be able to lead the team.